Howdy folks, special announcement. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my full-time employer, Felt. Felt is basically the best way to make maps on the internet. Late last year, they hired me to manage their YouTube channel and some of their social media platforms, and we're actually putting out a video that's all about how to use MapTiler with Felt. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to shout that out and tell you to go subscribe to Felt's YouTube channel at Felt Maps. Activate notifications because that video is going to be coming out very soon. Also, if you're interested in QGIS, I have a series over there called QGIS Corner, so you'll be able to learn how to use QGIS. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Go subscribe. Back to the video. So I held a survey on my Patreon page last week, and this is the idea that everybody upvoted and wants to see. So today I'm going to talk all about what you get if you purchase the MapTiler Cloud Data Subscription Plan for GeoLayers 3 and Adobe After Effects. Now, if you want to sign up for this plan, you can go to maptiler.com/cloud/GeoLayers, and it's what's called the Flex Plan. Once you get signed up and you pay for the plan, log into MapTiler, go to API keys, copy that key, and then go over to the GeoLayers panel, open up the preferences, go all the way down, and paste in that API key. This is going to open up a bunch of new features inside of the GeoLayers panel. So essentially what this allows you to do is create and customize base maps. So you're going to be able to do this inside of the GeoLayers panel with these new features, as well as on MapTiler's website. Now that we have MapTiler connected, let's jump in and see what looks different. So if I click on Create Map Comp, it's going to show us the Map Comp imagery profiles, and there are a handful of new ones here. So these are the new premium MapTiler imagery comps that we now have a license to use in commercial projects, with the caveat, which I'll talk about in a couple of minutes. So these particular map comps now have a ton of really cool customization options. There's one in particular called Advanced. If you click on this one and then you click again to edit, you can jump in and see all of these different parameters. So now it's showing us all the different assets of this particular map that we can toggle on and off the visibility, including the background and the oceans. And what's really cool about this is now we can start to layer up different map comps and specify what we want to show on those specific map comps and really go crazy with our GeoLayers. And even at the top, we have a street density slider, line width. At the bottom, we have hill shade options. It's very, very cool. We also have a satellite option, but if you jump into the edit settings, you'll notice that there's no parameters here. Once again, this is where you would take that other advanced profile, layer it on top, and you can just go crazy and visualize really whatever you want to visualize. You also have a really cool natural earth set right here. This one's a lot of fun. If I click edit, I can jump in here and see all the different admin borders. This one has bathymetry, glaciers, small islands, ice shelves. Man, it's just too much fun. You got one just to show the admin boundaries. You also have this color palette drop-down menu here, so you can quickly jump between different styles of looks. And if you hover your cursor over each color, it shows you which particular parameter that is. And if you click, you can just really quickly change that particular asset. So that's a really fun way to just change the colors of a specific element very quickly. So as I said just before, any of these profiles with the MapTiler logo in them, you can now use these in commercial projects. You have a proper license. And compare this to if you don't have a MapTiler plan, you're only going to have access to these other map comp imagery profiles like Bing Aerial and Esri, and there's no real straightforward commercial license use case for this type of imagery. So it's going to be very hard to do any kind of project and really know that you're in the clear with that imagery unless you contact these places directly and get clearance, which is very difficult. Now, speaking of which, if we head back over to MapTiler's website and look at this particular deal, it's very much targeted toward smaller YouTubers. Right here it says maximum channel subscribers 100,000. So if you're doing any work for television, film, or commercial streaming, you have to contact sales directly and strike a deal with them. So just be aware of that. So before you get this, if you're a smaller YouTuber, it's going to be no problem. You're going to be able to do whatever you want and not worry about it. If you're working for a real television show or some big project, you need to contact sales and strike a deal. I have no idea how much that is going to cost you, so Godspeed. You'll also notice that up here there are a couple of new tools that have been introduced. The first, and what I think is probably the most useful thing, is called Water Mass Comp. So if I just click on this, it's automatically going to create an entirely new map comp, which is essentially just this black and white comp, and then it will use a set matte effect on your main comp to just knock out the ocean, which is what you see it did just here. So basically took that, and now we have an alpha channel, which is amazing. If you've ever tried to do this without a proper matte, you know how crazy frustrating it can be trying to get those perfect coastlines. Now, one of the perfect use cases for a water mask is when you're drawing out country polygons and some of those ones that just don't really fit to the coastline very well. Well, you can use that water mask as a matte for those layers as well. Or if you want to do like some crazy composite, if you want to take the bathymetry of your natural earth and combine it with a satellite or some other crazy layer, you can create whatever kind of map you want. You'll also notice that it put the labels in its own comp as well. Just gives you more versatility. If you want to fade those in, fade them out, or change the brightness, whatever you want to do, they're on a separate comp now. Speaking of which, MapTiler gives you a ton of new label premium options as well. So if I jump over here into the map comp settings, you'll see here's my new water mask map comp 1 that's linked to my main map comp, and it also split out my labels here, which is connected. So if I jump into the settings of the map comp labels and scroll down, you'll see here are the labels, and if I click on edit labels, you'll see now I have all these customization options, which are really cool. I can, if I don't want to show the villages or whatever I want to do, I can specify that here. There's another little button up here called Draw 3D Buildings. Now, don't get too excited. I've tried to use this feature multiple times, and I just absolutely, hate's a strong word, but I really don't like it. It doesn't work well. You can only do it at a very large scale, and it just really bogs down, for me in particular, it bogs down my system. I'd love to hear if anybody out there has had success, like really loves or uses this feature a lot. I mean, if you've ever worked in a proper 3D program, like if you've done anything in Blender or Cinema 4D, and then you try to come back and work with this, it is excruciating, and I do not like it. But it's crazy because it's so night and day. I absolutely love the water mask map comps and absolutely hate the 3D building option here. If they get it right, it would be so cool, but as of right now, I would very much stick to Blender and or Cinema 4D. But I'd love to hear what you have to say. If anyone out there has used this feature and actually likes it, please let me know down in the comment section. I would love to hear that. I'm going to use some clips from my GeoLayers 3 masterclass that I recorded for this, and I specifically recorded the sample just for my masterclass because I have no actual samples of using this in the real world on a real project because it's pretty much impossible. Maybe if you're doing something like a group of like 10 or fewer buildings, maybe you can do something, but now, one of the coolest features of the MapTiler plan is that you get access to the MapTiler cloud where you can create your own custom web maps here. So if I just go and click on this ocean, I can click customize a copy, and then it brings me to this little area where I can do quick edits. I can really, customize whatever kind of look that I want. So let me zoom out here a little bit. Has all these different layers that I can adjust and just really go crazy with the detail of what I want to create. Custom labels. When I'm happy, I can go ahead and let's just call this Coastline Shadows. Create and save, and now I will publish this. Now that I have this published, I can scroll down here and it allows me to grab these raster tiles, which means I can create another custom map comp imagery profile within GeoLayers. So simply come over here and copy this one right here. Come back to your GeoLayers panel, and I'm going to create a new map comp entirely, and click on this little plus icon right here, and then under URI, you just paste this in. And there's our map. Also, be aware that you might need to change minimum and maximum zoom. I'm changing maximum zoom to 22. There we go. Click apply, and now create, and now voila, this map style is now in my GeoLayers project. Love it. So you can really create whatever kind of map look you want using all the new features that open up inside of the GeoLayers 3 panel, as well as all of your customization options over on MapTiler Cloud. There are a handful of other small little features that you get when you sign up for MapTiler. Like for example, if you come over here to add features to browser and you do download features, I think there's an OpenStreetMap or a current view features, so it'll grab all the OpenStreetMap features from your current view. So if you're zoomed in far, that's a good way to grab, different polygons, points, and lines. You also get labels in different languages, which is really cool. So if you're a YouTube creator under 100,000 subscribers, I would suggest don't hesitate. Just get this. It'll be great. It'll be perfect for you. If you're working in other industries, definitely contact sales and see what kind of deal you can negotiate. Also, if you're working on other web maps, like I work for Felt, for example, I can use MapTiler with Felt. I can create custom backgrounds, link them straight into Felt. It's amazing. Create my own custom backgrounds. Works flawlessly with Felt. It will also work with other programs like World Creator, which is very, very cool. So if you're using multiple tools like this is definitely going to be worth the money. So, enough rambling. See you in the next one.